Hello, everybody. Welcome to the only podcast where, we just don't give a fuck anymore. It's Not With That Attitude podcast. As always, I am your resident Dr. Calbigian, and with my lovely friends, Tick and MZ.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Here once again.
Once again, another late on a Saturday, just how I like it. Oh, man. All right.
We got on the menu today.
Oh, God fucking damn it. All right, let's get the serious one out of the way here. Okay.
All right.
So, for context for the audience, Tick sent a couple TikToks, a couple days ago. What was what is it called? Like a couple clips from TikTok from the with the Whatever podcast.
Yeah.
The first one was, so I think it was one of the hosts talking to one of their female guests who's like in her early 20s, talking about preferences of men wanting to date younger women and things like that, and of course her being triggered and even going so far as calling it pedophilia when they were clearly only talking about in the case of in the scenario everyone's of legal age, everyone's at least 18 in the scenario.
Yep.
And it was a back and forth between the two of them, with her projecting and just it was a fucking mess.
A bunch of stupid stuff.
Right.
A classic situation of double standards at play.
Right, exactly. And because it's like, I mean, the fact that she's like her not being okay with that type of scenario, fine, completely fine. I do not care.
Yeah, you don't have to like it, but also it's perfectly legal too. So why do you
exactly
care so much?
Yeah, if both parties are of legal age and consenting and informed, that is on them. That is their responsibility. No one else has a fucking say. It has nothing to do with anybody else but the two parties involved.
Right.
It's so frustrating. But no, sorry, I'm getting distracted by the chat.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, no, it's so stupid. It's like, okay, yeah, that's not your thing. Whether it's older man wanting to date a younger woman or an older woman wanting to date a younger man, so long as they're of age and consenting and informed, it's like that's their responsibility. It's on them. It doesn't involve anybody else. Just fucking stay out of it.
Exactly.
And
stay out of perfectly legal business that has nothing to do with you and isn't harming anyone except for, well, no one really.
Right.
It's harming nobody. So.
And the part of it that really annoyed me, because like it said, she even went so far as to call people like that pedophiles, and it's just like, women in the West don't realize how much power they have, like how easily they can ruin someone's life, especially a man's life. Because it's like they just one simple, small false accusation, even against proven incident at the end, damage done. The life's over. It's like it's game over. There's no fucking recovering from that. And just seeing them say something like that, going so far as though calling completely legal situation like pedophilia and like that,
right? And
just thrown it out there willingly without thinking.
Yeah,
it's really fucking upsetting because she clearly has no awareness. I'm sure she probably does have some awareness of like just how much power she has and how easily she can ruin someone's fucking life.
And that's the big issue. Is like, so when people do that, so even if it's completely legal and like everybody in the world, everybody in their circle knows it, one small claim can easily be taken out of proportion, especially for a man.
Right.
Like, women can get away way easier with, like, discrediting claims like that these days. A man? 100%. No, hell no.
And again, it's completely fine that she doesn't know, like, that particular scenario, but again, as long as everyone's of age and they're consenting, it's like she has no say in the matter. Yeah. And she shouldn't be throwing out insane...
Oh, no, she definitely used completely incorrect terminology.
Mm-hmm. Right.
What I will say is that, be it men dating younger or women dating younger, it does feel, with that big of an age gap, it does feel a little bit predatory, simply because there is an experience gap and there is a power gap, like a power dynamic.
Most young people these days are kind of too idiotic to fucking handle that kind of shit maturely. Let's be real.
So like, it's not saying that there can't be healthy relationships with those gaps. It's not saying that there isn't a way to go about it that is completely healthy and fine, or that it's illegal.
It absolutely can work, but I think it's just like, it's just like how...
There is a fair, more
but her saying
that are bad.
But her saying pedophile was completely incorrect.
Yeah,
If she
right.
would have,
And
if
here's the
she would
thing,
have
she
said,
consciously knows that, if anything. Like, we can
Oh,
guarantee
yeah.
she
For
consciously
sure.
knows what she's saying, so it's not
Right.
just a case of her mistaking terms. She's
Oh, no.
going into that
She-
fully knowing what
She most
she's
likely
saying.
no,
knows.
she jumped straight into that incorrectly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But if she would have said something like predatory and expounded on like that kind of dynamic that I'm trying to explain,
Right.
then it would have been a lot better, like a lot different of a conversation. It probably
Yeah.
would have been a healthier conversation.
Yeah,
But
well,
she's not
it depends on her
mature
too, because-
enough.
Yeah, that's the
She's
thing.
not mature
is
enough, and she's not articulate enough
she
to
came at it in a way
explain
that,
anything.
Yeah, she came at it in a way that was like way too excessive. So even if
Yes.
she, even if she said it, you know, in the correct way, the problem is her behavior reflects on how it would have gone anyway.
Oh yeah,
Because
she
was
started
in no place where she was
going
clearly a
off.
calm, you know, a calm, mature person at all.
Right. Yeah. Not at all.
Yeah.
No, so like her going off just did not
Yeah.
help matters. But yeah, like I watched, because I did watch it just so I knew the context that we were
Right.
going into.
Right.
She definitely went off when she should not have gone off,
Mhm.
and he did not help matters because he got defensive in the same breath.
Yep.
So that whole conversation just went to shit. There was no fixing it. There was no like a way to get that settled. So that should have been just like, we're not going to talk about this anymore because that's just not going to be a conversation.
Yeah.
There's no back and forth.
Right.
There's just you're attacking and then I'm going to attack you. Not healthy.
And it's like, and again, like her not being comfortable with that sort of with that
Oh,
kind
no,
of
that's
age gap with
fine.
people, that's totally fine. And like on his end, it's like, look, I'm with him because like he was again. I'm still pissed off about it too because like he's fully justified being angry in that situation for her going so far to call it pedophilia.
Oh, yeah.
Again,
It's okay. Like I get the frustration and I get the anger of like, why are you calling me that just because I like something that seems a little weird?
Mm-hmm.
But I think because
But yeah, at the end of the day, they should have tried to stay calm and have
Both of them had a
the
part
mature
in the
conversation
behavior.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I will say I
Mhm.
definitely side more with him than her, but like overall, yeah, they definitely should have like come at it a different way.
oh no,
Right.
I'm not
And I get a lot of
taking
this is definitely
I'm not
for
taking a
clout.
side. I'm not taking a side here. I'm just stating that like I can see where she was trying to go
She had an
and
she
just
was aiming for
completely
target,
missed the
but-
mark.
Yeah.
Where she was like she was like I have a target and
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 3,000 feet to the left
She had a
instead.
target, but shot the arrow into the instructor's kneecap instead.
Yeah, basically.
And then Skyrim was born. Anyway.
Took an arrow to the knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I think there's also more of a history of younger women being taken advantage of by older men. So I think that's why it's such a triggering topic. Not.
I mean,
Also,
yes,
everyone is responsible
yes
for
and
managing
no.
their triggers.
You're right.
Well,
That's
that too.
It don't matter your age anymore. If you're a fucking adult,
Right.
you got to learn to manage your triggers.
you-
whether you
Oh,
like it or
100%.
You're
not.
right. They're totally
Yeah,
responsible for
there's
that.
no
You're right,
more
yeah.
excuses anymore.
Mhm.
No. I'm not trying to make an excuse. I'm
Well, I
trying
know,
to.
but I just mean for them, you know, because like a lot
Yeah.
of them will try to
Yeah,
excuse
yeah.
it. Not you, but like a
Yeah.
lot of people these days will like really try to excuse these things, and then it's
Mhm.
like you know at that point it's like they're whole ass adults. It's like yes, they're young adults, but also they should be at that age, or they should be at that mindset where they start learning how to manage themselves as a person better. But the problem is also we don't teach them that anymore.
What's funny is I was actually watching another TikTok about the lack of tools that we're giving kids, just
Yeah.
like between millennials and Gen Z, there's like just this huge gap of problem solving in interpersonal skills
Yeah.
that just
Oh yeah.
disappeared from school
Basically,
completely. And I'll have to find it and send it later. But
Right.
it gave her like a really interesting breakdown because she was like, yeah, I taught kids because she's from like she's like a Gen X millennial cusp.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
So she's 38. To me, that's more Gen X era than it is.
Yeah, like right. Just after I would say, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep.
she was like, I taught these Gen Z kids, and like it's a whole different ball game because they don't have any problem-solving skills anymore because it was taken out of schools, and those are the kids that are now being put on these podcasts because they're adults now. Most of them are adults. And it's wild to me just how vastly different they handle things.
Right.
And it's like, oof. Government and us did them real dirty.
Yeah.
100%.
Because, like, another thing, too, is we are technically part of that older generation now. We're reaching a point where we do have a lot of lessons we can teach people, but I think there's a lot of things that we're so, like, accustomed to and used to that we don't really think to teach it to people because we just assume that it's, like, common knowledge now.
Yeah, because, like, it's been part of the norm for so long that we don't really, it doesn't really come to mind to be like, oh, wait, no, maybe I should double check this, maybe I should rethink this.
So
It's been the norm for so long.
Shit, I should have taught them this, but now it's, like, too late, you know? It's like, well...
We're also in that weird part of history where some Gen Z and millennials have the same, like, boomer parents, but then some Gen Z and Gen Alpha have the same Gen X parents.
Right.
So it's like that. I don't know how to navigate that.
Yeah.
Y'all are weird, and I don't know how to talk to
major
you.
Mishmash between the groups. Because, like, each group is really never clean cut, especially because, like, also, you know, like, you have various ways that people grew up. That, you know, it's like that also affects their mindset and how they turn out too. You know, a lot of that being, of course, influenced from the parents. You know, it's like the big thing people don't realize is, like, well into your teenage years, your parents' behaviors and actions can influence your, you know, growth as a person when you're young. Just you know, for people in general, it's like, the problem is we have that new research now. The issue is, you know, a lot of people before us, when that research was still coming out, obviously they're older and they're the sorts who don't want to change and stuff, so they just didn't want to see that research and, like, you know, take it into mind or anything.
Or they saw it and didn't believe it.
Right, exactly.
By the way, audience, we're talking strictly in the U.S. because that's where we live and we're most.
We're
talking about. We're not talking about the world as a whole. We're just.
I mean,
we're sticking to what we know.
It could be happening elsewhere, but hell if I know. I just mean the U.S.
I've heard we're getting similar. We're getting a lot of similar stuff in the U.K. as well, but we don't live there, so I don't know.
Yeah, so we have to have our resident U.K. liver tell us that.
You're right.
They're not here right now, so.
Yes, that's our frame of experience. Is definitely U.S. based and specifically Eastern U.S. based. Because I don't have a huge knowledge base of what the West Coast is like. Like, I just have a couple friends that lived on the West Coast and didn't meet them until they were in high school, so.
Yeah, and, like, here's the thing. It's like, you know, the whole, like, stereotype, like, oh, Californians are this, and that, you know, and it's all, like, really spoiled shit. Now, I'll be honest, like, obviously not all of them are like that. And there's plenty who are obviously have been raised in a way that are very traditional or just, like, have been raised good, but the thing is, stereotypes exist based on some level of truth. If there was no level of truth to it, the stereotype would never exist in the first place. Is the thing. You know, so, like, that's the big thing. Is, like, when you hear the whole thing about how Californians are soft and spoiled, I mean, let's be real. It exists because there is some level of truth to it. Not entire truth, you know, but some level enough that it made that stereotype happen.
Yeah. But
Black people and fried chicken. Anyway, go ahead.
And watermelons. Don't forget the watermelons.
And great drink.
Where that one came from, anyway.
Yeah, right.
Like, I need to know where those specific things came from.
I could probably go look it up for you. But
it was secretly a black man that came up with the no KFC, no chicken recipes. It was stolen by Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, right.
I honestly would not be surprised.
Like, ain't no white man that can do flavor this good. Get out of here.
I mean, he's not wrong, though.
No. Oh, boy.
What were you saying, MC?
I can't even remember. We got
we were going over, development in children and stuff, and how, previous generations.
Oh, so we were also talking about, like, computer literacy, which is a thing.
Yep.
or technology literacy in general, how like there was this belief that younger generations just picked up technology without any help whatsoever, which is in some senses true, but in other senses not.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the kids that I work with that come in to like start my job, they don't know how to type.
Yeah, right.
They don't know how to put
Right.
their fingers on the keyboard and type, which is fascinating because we don't use like iPads. We use laptops with keyboards, and then we hook them up, and it projects onto a normal monitors and regular sized keyboard so that we can have like two screens. And the amount of times that I've had to help my 22-year-old coworker figure out how to do something on her computer is fascinating to me. I'm like, girl, you had to use computers before, have you not? Like, she doesn't know how to, like, save things in certain places, and she doesn't know how to change a doc type. Like, it is fascinating to me. But yeah, like, the amount of things that they've, like, cut from schools that just are so prevalent still in the world, and especially in, like, workplaces, is wild.
Right.
Yeah, because a combination of that and then because like when like our generation started being parents, and it's like because they're like in the thick of like tablets and smartphones, is like I don't know, like distract my kids with this instead of an actual like full-on computer, keyboard, and everything. Just take the tablet, whatever, take the phone,
Okay.
get out of my hair so I can do my thing.
Right.
Yep.
So one thing I will say though that I at least appreciate from Gen Z is like they're seeing the struggles we are dealing with right now, and they're just like already prepared coming in like, no, we don't want to deal with that. And
Yeah,
honestly,
they're much more
them.
vocal.
Fucking like, please stand up for us because we've tried too much and nobody listens. So.
Yeah, they are very vocal. I will give them that.
Yeah, infinitely more vocal, which is great.
Yeah.
Now, if they had our skills and their vocal, like if we could combine forces and not them just shitting on us all the time, that'd be fucking great.
Yeah, right.
Right, here's what we gotta do. We gotta learn the fusion technique. We fuse with it. No, we fuse with the
right.
Then we become perfect beings.
Where's Goku?
Teach us Goku.
We need it.
We need the help.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a fucking mess. But what was the So I think the other clip was just like kind of just doubles down on the that you sent. It just doubles down on the whole double standards thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Although real quick, MZ reminded me of something. So speaking of jobs, I've sent MZ a TikTok recently that like had this thing where an employer actually set the minimum wage, yearly, income for every employee to $70K a year. Yeah, the CEO. And not only did his business thrive even throughout COVID, because the employees decided they would all willingly take a cut or let their pay be cut.
Take a cut in their salary.
Yeah, they like in the end it like bounced right back, and he's had a very successful business ever since, from what I know of, or at least something happened. He might have, he might have quit something, or I don't know. There's something that happened, but I only know that like it was a very successful situation, and it really goes to show that like employers who, CEOs and employers who actually care about their employees are going to succeed far more than
100%
business corporates that are constantly cycling out people.
Did his employees buy him a nice car?
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Okay, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about then. Yep.
Yeah, and I think he might have stepped down by now, but that company is still running and still going strong, and they still have the same policies.
Yeah, so they still have the same value.
It's like, what a fucking concept!
Right? It's like, it's wild, and it's wild to show how absolutely loyal they were to the company too.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you'd think that seeing that, would like really show the world that kind of thing, but apparently not. Yeah,
Well,
so
no,
you have
'cause-
CEOs and stuff these days being like, oh, why are our employees so useless and disloyal and like doing only the bare minimum? Oh, they're quiet quitting. Oh, it's so trashy. It's like, well, maybe if you
Because you're
treated them
fucking
right,
stripping them dry.
right, treated them
Stripping all
right,
your
gave them a
employees dry.
real wage, then you would have loyal employees who would rather who would die for you. Not actually.
Right.
But who would be more willing to put in more
Would be
effort?
willing to be severely wounded for you, but not
Yeah,
like
right.
threateningly wounded for
Yeah,
you.
like be able to bounce back at least. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe like
right.
a knife to the thigh.
I don't know why the knife to the thigh made me think like so. So okay, so we get Skyrim from arrow to knee, but if we go knife to the thigh, that's how we'll finally get the next Elder Scrolls game. That's how we get Elder Scrolls. We keep working our way up the leg, being injured by various weapons to get the next.
Oh my god,
Yep.
the desperation.
Uh,
Don't think it's coming, buddy. I'm sorry.
No, they're working on it. They are working on it. They did it now. I think was it last year they finally said something? I think they did. I think we finally got a reveal last year. So it'll be here eventually. It is being actively made. We at least have
10
that now.
years
Yep.
later.
Right? Oh man. But anyway, so switching gears, I wanted to pick your artist brain, Tick.
Yeah.
I know in a previous episode we kind of talked about like kind of how you got started and your journey, being an artist and whatnot. I kind of wanted to ask what your kind of go a little more into the details of it, like what your drawing process is. So like, let's say you have an idea for a character. How do you start that? Do you kind of do like some rough stuff in a sketchbook first? You do go straight to on the computer, do it digitally, or what? How does it usually start for you?
Usually what I do is I just get right onto the computer these days because I don't think I even have any sketchbooks anymore right now. But, so I just get on the computer and then just slap up a canvas. I like to start in pieces, so I'll do like work on the head first, and then work down the body. I'll make it into like shapes and chunks. And to be fair, that's generally the process we're taught. However, something a lot of people don't realize is like when you're doing art, you can just honestly jump right in and just go.
Yeah, because I was looking. Yeah, because I was looking into a little bit leading up to this. Because like obviously you have like the shape method to kind of like get the generic poses and what stuff kind of going. So you have kind of like your template to add on top of, or you kind of just just fucking wing it and just like whatever from the start. But yeah, I think it just differs from artist to artist with their preference or whatever works best for them.
Because like in some cases you can just honestly like start drawing the lines right away and you're basically fine. That's how I used to do it, and stuff. And a lot of people realize don't realize that like you don't need to like sit down and devote half your day to practice. You can just like literally 5 minutes out of your day, and that's like all you have to do. You can just do like like draw a head or something. Draw some like chibi anime thing like a doodle of like a small dog thing or an amalgamation. Just anything.
Right.
You basically just want to like take a few minutes a day basically if you want to really continue with it and just do very light practice, and that it all adds up.
Yeah, because I'll say things like, "Oh, you need to learn your learn your shapes, learn your color theory, learn the anatomy."
Yeah, and it's like something I've picked up.
Lighting, shading, all that stuff.
Yeah, something I picked up. You definitely don't need to do that at all. You can honestly start wherever you want, and you're not going to be good at it right away, but after a while, eventually people will pick it up. And like once they find the way they learn best too.
Yeah, because from what I gathered, just like it really just depends on what it is you want to draw. Because like so, if you want to draw stuff that involves no detailed anatomy and no deep color theory and stuff like that, then of course you're gonna want to learn those things. But if not, if you want to draw stuff that isn't really not too involved or doesn't need that like high skill level stuff or aspects like that, then yeah, it's just whatever, do your own thing. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
It's kind of like how.
It also depends on what you're drawing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of like how that dude PewDiePie or whatever he did the like I drew every day for 100 days thing or whatever. Like,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And the thing is, he didn't try to learn any of like the initial setup stuff like the shapes and yada color theory and yada yada. He just went right in and started doodling.
Nice. Okay.
It's like there's like from what I know of, like I didn't watch it or anything, don't really care too much, but from what I know of, there's like a lot of vast improvement over that 100 days, and he only took like 5 minutes a day, about give or take.
Okay.
So it's, it's one of those things where you're like you don't have to start off with like all those bare bones basics, because for the most part, you can eventually learn to just grasp things however works best for you.
Okay. And I forget what I forget what's called. Do you use a regular tablet? I mean, not
yeah, tablet.
Because you have your tablet is like just connects to PC and you do just have it on your computer screen, not a Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
Yep.
What's the brand?
I use the it's called X Pen. Although generally I just prefer the like Cintiq, and I know there's another great one. It's all, or not Cintiq in general, but like the Wacom stuff is really good.
Okay.
Yeah, and I forget there's another brand that's like really good, but I just honestly forget what it was right now.
Gotcha.
The one that I got.
Yeah, I think so.
Huon.
Yeah, Helium.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing Hewins. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Hewin and Wacom are basically like top dogs in that regard.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And do you use Photoshop or do you use a different application?
I use Clip Studio. Paint.
Clip Studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
although I've also used
like,
Paint Tool Sci, and then a lot of people use Photoshop
Yep.
now.
Photoshop is like the OG.
Yeah.
Sci was like the second wave, and then Clip Studio is like the newcomer.
Yeah, because Sci and Clip Studio were made specifically for art. Photoshop is like, it can be done with art, obviously, but it's definitely, multifunctional, so it doesn't always have like the right tools you might need sometimes or things.
Right.
It doesn't have like certain resources that the others have.
Mm-hmm.
For example, for Sci and Clip Studio, you can get like models, you can get like patterns and stuff, and various brushes and whatnot. A lot of things that like you can't necessarily always get from Photoshop.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember looking or hearing about those. I think Krita was another one that stood out to me.
I don't know if I've heard that one.
I think it's been around for a few years now. I think almost a decade. I can't remember when it initially came out, but anyway. But yeah, I was thinking about it earlier this week, and I'm like, let me look at this a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, interesting. And I figured, let me pick your brain a little bit for this episode. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you're using references, I assume you've been drawing long enough that you don't need to. You're not tracing anything. You're just you just have it up next to you, and you kind of just copy what you need from it, and then make do your own thing at a certain point, I guess.
Things where you just use it as like a baseline for what you want for like pose, or like how a certain piece of the body looks that you might not be good at. It's one of those things where it's like you're basically drawing very close to it, very similar, to it, but not really like copying it. But also, so something I find is a lot of people in the art community get all up in arms about it, but so the big thing is, as long as you're not making profit off it and stuff, and just keeping it mostly to yourself, tracing is totally fine. It's a great way to learn and get the idea of how to do the movements, the lines, etc. Just obviously, again, don't make profit off it. Don't credit as your own. Just keep it to yourself and just do tracing for practice, and then focus on trying to branch out and do your own thing after that. You'll have a lot of people who come for people who trace for any reason. It's like, well, cry me a river. That's just, if someone can practice any way, then that by all means practice. Don't worry about what those fucking bitches are screeching in your ear. Anything is a viable method under the right circumstances, as long as you don't have a bitch screaming in your ear.
And you're not trying to make a profit.
Yep.
Now, Emzy, you said you had a drawing tablet as well?
I do.
You do?
I don't.
We all peer pressured her into getting one to make small doodles.
I doodle more than I draw. I'm not a super great artist.
Yeah.
Mostly I just draw anime eyes.
Yeah.
That's what I know how to do well.
So you should take 5 minutes a day to do small stuff, and then put it on a shirt or a mug or something and sell for profits.
Like Ozzy's Perry icon that she uses in here, that's me.
Yep.
Knight's flower, that's me.
Yep.
Yeah, just put on a shirt. I'm the eye girl. Come to me for all your eye needs.
Yeah, pretty much. But only for the right eye. Don't ask me to try to do the left one.
See, that's what copy paste and like flip
Exactly.
canvas is for.
Like she only strictly does no Chinabio eye patch wearing characters. Okay.
Yeah, right.
I
Or
really
pirates.
should.
Or pirates.
Let me. Fuck yeah! I will design the shit out of a pirate.
Heck, put 2 eye patches on the motherfucker.
But honestly, I would love to be able to draw
Yeah.
at like a 10th as well as some of my friends, because I've been surrounded by artist friends.
Yeah, so that's the thing too. Is like, you know, just like every you know, like day or two, just like definitely like just snag like, you know, a moment to like take like, you know, 2 to 5 minutes, just like doodle some really quick thing.
Right.
I usually doodle flowers more than anything else because they're easy.
Yeah, so just keep trying that and like doodle other random stuff that like, you know, just out of the blue. And like eventually you'll see improvement. It's just the thing is too, the fun part about improvement is like it's a gradual process that you're already so used to, you're not gonna recognize it.
Right. I mean, unless you like go back and like pull out your like old sketches and like compare.
Right.
What I do know that I'm good at is taking what I see and copying it, at least like the shape.
Yeah.
So like if somebody makes like a hand motion and like holds it for me, I can copy that hand fairly well. Is it going to be perfect? No, but I can copy it as long as I can reference back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did that before and showed my friends, and they're like, "How did you draw your hand like that?" And I was like, "I just held my hand up and did the thing." And they were like, "That was really good, though." And I was like, "Oh, I did not know that was good, but okay, thank you." And then like ran away because I don't take compliments. Still.
Yeah.
It's like, damn it, I'm only good at eyes and hands. Ah!
Yeah.
But yeah, if I had like a figure that I could just stand it, like I should probably get one of those wooden ones that you can pose.
Yeah, just like little pose mannequin things. Yeah.
If I could get one of those and just sit and draw for a while, I could probably do that. But I'm not as talented as my friends.
Yeah. Again, that's like, you don't need to be talented. Just like sometimes all you have to do is just like simply do a couple little, you know, doodles a day. And just,
Yeah,
like,
because
pick something you want to try out and then just go from there.
Yeah, because as I was looking into this more and more, because it's just like, because I was like going through just like a bunch of different YouTube videos from like a bunch of different artists and like what their process was and how they got started, and some of them were just like, oh yeah, no, I was absolute garbage. I didn't have any talent. And, like I put together a portfolio and submit it to university, try to get in. They just laughed at me and kicked me out the door. But it's like now 30 years later, doing my own thing, I'm like, he was hired by fucking Pixar to do some stuff. And shit like that, and it's like, yeah, sure, you don't have talent for it, but if you put enough hard work into it and you find what works for you,
But like,
yeah,
that's something one of my friends drew.
Oh, okay.
Like, that is the level that I look at a lot of the times, and I'm like, I would love to be able to do that. I can't.
Yeah, see, that was another thing I was hearing. Is like, don't compare yourself to like the other like amazing artists out there. It's like you'll just don't worry about trying to do that right away. You'll get there.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's
you get there if you put in the time.
Compare yourself to yourself, not anyone else.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
Oh damn it! What was I? There was another thing I was gonna ask. No. Oh, this is like I was so good about writing shit down in the beginning, and now I'm not writing anything down anymore.
It happens.
But
yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think we kind of talked about it a little in the last time we were talking about art stuff, but I think so. So Tick, you mostly draw like animal, fantasy creature stuff, and I can't remember. I can't remember. Did you say you draw any humanoid stuff at all? Because I know you get your commissions sometimes for some of your characters.
I did like once in the past for myself, but I mostly have stuck to animals at all.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but Tick can see what he wants, which is really nice.
Yeah. I'm one of those classic people who can, actually visualize something and I see it like in full detail.
Just hear like boop, 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 and just scans onto the sheet in front of him.
Yeah.
Right.
Just beam out of his eyes, and there we go.
Yeah, it's like a just like a humanoid 3D printer.
That'd be great. If you could just do that for me, that'd be great.
Yeah, God, see, like, I'm actually glad you brought that up because, like, 3D printing, always, like, every time I'll see clips every now and again on TikTok of, like, some people that do, like, some really awesome stuff, and I'm just like, oh, God, with it, like, the not just the expense of the printer itself, but just, like, all the, material,
The
filaments and everything, I'm just like, oh my God, it's gotta be nuts. Because it looks so fucking cool, but I'm just like, oh, the money sink.
Yeah. Like, the only way that's viable is to sell the shit that you print.
It's like, please buy so I can make more.
Yeah, right.
Make more for myself.
Oh, man.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Very, very insightful. All right, well, I think we're at the 33-minute mark, about
now, so.
35 now. Okay, well, I pretty much covered everything I want to talk about.
All right. Cool.
We've got our rant, we've got our art talk. I think we're good.
Yeah, right. Nice and crisp. All right, well, guys. Well, that has been another episode of Know That Attitude podcast. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe and all that jazz. I would like to have more than just one view. Hopefully, one day. We appreciate the effort, Cheebs, but we need more than just you.
Someday.
I like to double check our statistics because, like, we actually
I know,
have
right?
every now and again, like. Yeah, so that shall be our closing.
See y'all in the next one. Bye.
Farewell, everybody.